welcome back to your hour. Joining me now, and in fact, I'm going to turn it over to him, is James Barfield, who is probably a familiar face around Wichita. But James, it's good of you to join us today.
Well, I'm pleased to be here, ma'am.
So, what's on your mind?
Well, today I want to talk about the trial that's going on in Wisconsin. And I call it a trial, but actually it's more like a three-ring circus. I've never seen a trial where someone has been murdered and cannot be referred to as a victim. But the judge has set down these rules in a pre-trial motion that the three people that were shot, two of them fatally, and the other one injured, cannot be referred to as victims. However, they can be referred to as looters, rioters, and arsonists, though they're not on trial for any of that. And then this judge does something that I've never seen, never witnessed a judge do. Now, this guy is 75 years old. He's supposed to be the longest serving judge in Wisconsin. But during the trial, he's had to remove the jury twice so that he can engage in a verbal outburst against the prosecutor. Now, I've never seen anything like this. And a judge is supposed to be, in my opinion, a neutral party. His job is to listen to and weigh the evidence in this trial and then pass along instructions to the jury as to how they are to proceed. Now, you can release the jury from this outburst, but in this day and age of social media, where everybody's watching, there's no way in the world you're going to convince me that these jurors don't know what this judge is doing. Now, if that's not bad enough, on yesterday, doing a question about how long they would be out for lunch, the judge involved himself in making an ethnic, what he called joke, that offended many Asians. He said that he didn't know how long it would be because he hoped the Asian food was not aboard the docked ships out in the ocean. I mean, come on. I mean, can it get any worse than this? I mean, I've seen lots of cases. I've seen lots of judges. I've seen lots of juries. I've seen lots of prosecutors. And I've seen lots of defense witnesses. But I've never seen anything like this. And it makes you wonder now whether it was a good idea to bring television cameras into the courtroom. Because some of these judges, and I remember, I take you back to the O.J. Simpson trial, and if Judge Udo or something like that, there was allegations that he was performing for the cameras. Well, that certainly has to apply to this judge in Wisconsin because his actions are certainly not that of a professional, normal judge. So maybe it's time we do one or two things. We need to either remove the cameras from the courtroom or we need to set a age limit for how long these guys can serve. Now, this guy's 75 years old. And of course, he's the longest serving judge there. And I don't know how many years he's been there. But I think we're fast approaching the time that he should be removed from this judge is way beyond himself and is going above and beyond what is expected of a trial judge. And he wants the defense asked for a mistrial based on the prosecutor's behavior. No, we should have a mistrial based on the judge's behavior, and let's get this case reassigned to a competent professional judge who will do his duty, which is to listen to and weigh the evidence. That's all he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to, render his opinions about anything with the jury in or with the jury dismissed. That is not his function. And I don't know why this guy would go unsanctioned if he does. In this case, at the conclusion of this case, this guy should be asked to remove himself from any future, and if he's unwilling to do that, he should be asked to resign. I cannot think of another case, and I'm not the only one. I guarantee you, I'm not the only one that sees a lot of missteps by this presiding judge. And here's the thing: we have a kid on trial who was 17 years old at the time that this mishap occurred. At 17, he was too young to legally purchase a gun anyhow. The second thing is he lives or resides in Illinois. He purchased a gun in Illinois. And well, he didn't purchase it, he had someone purchase it for him. Now, any 16 or 17-year-old who wants to buy alcohol cannot purchase alcohol. He has to have someone purchase it for him or her. Now, that alone tells you that you're doing something wrong. Yet this guy wants to say he did nothing wrong. He tried tried to render himself to the police who told him to get the hell out of the way. I mean, if I've ever seen a travesty of justice, this is it. I mean, this right here, this guy, and I'm glad to see that the prosecution finally today is asking to have another choice available to the jurors so that they don't completely let this guy off. Because this is nothing more than a clear case of vigilante justice. If we allow this guy to get away with this, we're opening the doors for this to be widespread in our community. So, with that said, I'm about out of time, but that's my story for today, and I'm sticking to it.